Hello everybody, welcome to the Dave Plays YouTube channel. So today I want to be talking about the best accessory and ultimately mod you can do for your ROG Ally. So I don't know if everyone saw my short. If you did, it's okay, and if you didn't, it's totally okay as well. But I've had this ROG Ally for a while now. This is before the Xbox and this is before the X. You can tell because it has the grips that are all kind of combined, so it feels less like a controller. But I really have liked my Ally. I've actually done a big upgrade. I put a 4TB SSD in this. I went ahead and replaced the thumbsticks with the Hall effect ones. It is a lot heavier than it was in the beginning, but for me, I don't feel the fatigue as I'm used to playing with bigger devices, like a Switch with a really big case, PS Vita with a bunch of accessories, stuff like that. And then I also did the battery upgrade as well. But this has served me as a really, really solid console, and it made me get to the point where I was thinking with my own PC, do I want to stay with the PC or do I want to get a one handheld that can do it all? And that was one reason why I wanted this specific handheld, is because it had the XG Mobile adapters. So you could get the 4090, I think there's a 5070, and there's quite a few other ones as well. So I actually started doing some research in these adapters. I'm like, okay, well, let's think about it. What can I get with this console? Because I had a 9070 XT PC. I don't want to have to downgrade, right? And that's one reason why I made sure it had 4TB of storage, because I didn't want it to feel like a downgrade. So after I did all the other mods, battery, storage, and everything, I looked at XG Mobiles, and these are really expensive. And not only is it expensive, but you're getting laptop class hardware, and you get a very small USB hub included with one of these. But that's also when I stumbled upon some of the technical specs of this connector. So when I say XG Mobile, for people who don't understand, it's this connector right here. So this is Thunderbolt or Type-C, and then this is the extra XG Mobile part, which allows you to get PCIe, which is how some of their GPUs operate. So that's when I found the XG Mobile Lite adapter. They also have another version of it, but it's more expensive and people don't often make it as much. So I thought it would just be way easier if I just went ahead and got the Lite adapter. It was like $125 shipped, and this is when the tariffs were really bad. So that was a really solid deal. And they do have all the files posted, so you could go on the Reddit yourself, and I'll just pull it up a little bit later as well. But yeah, so I started with that. So I had this, I was on the go, loving it. And then once I got this adapter, I had to order a cable. The cable was about $150. So all in, I'm in around like $275, almost $300. I found a RTX 3080 adapter for $800. So the goal is beat $800 all the way. So I got the adapter. I had an HP power supply and breakout board already. I also went to the Jelly Bay just to see if there was a better deal there. I picked up another one to replace the one I was using for this. But I used it because I don't need anything special. They're really small, and if I wanted to make an enclosure later on, it'd be super, super simple. So when I got it all put together, I first put on my 1080. I wanted to make sure it worked, and a lot of other people don't test older class cards. But you have to keep in mind, a 1080 compared to the integrated graphics on this is still a huge jump. And after doing some driver conflicts for eGPU specifically, there's a little driver modification you have to do. So I went ahead and did the driver modification, and it worked. It played. I went on the Jelly Bay. I got a Thunderbolt dock. It has a huge array of extra displays, which obviously I have a 3080 in it now, so I don't need them. But it also has a bunch of USBs, Ethernet, and it's just a super solid setup where I can actually use my ROG Ally as a desktop. So fast forward, I've done some different tests, 4090s, anything that's not AMD's, just plug and play. But it's still a really cool board because now I'm getting desktop class hardware on my portable device. And this is kind of what I envisioned my Switch would be like. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but the Switch is great because it can hook up to the screen. You get slightly more power and you get a better resolution. And I wanted the same thing with my ROG Ally, and that's what this adapter did. So next what I want to cut to is the adapter itself. So I'll see you then. Hi y'all, I just got the adapter back to now show you guys this. So these are the adapters. I don't have the person's name in front of me, but if I do find it, I will put it on the screen. So this is the adapter that he made. He actually reverse engineered the XG Mobile drivers to support this specific application. So instead of being locked to a mobile GPU, any PCIe GPU you can just slot in. And I'll show the GPU I was using and that I currently still use is the 3080. So you might ask, why do I use the 3080? Well, the 3080 I got for $250, and I was in 275 before, 250, so I'm in like 550 right now, and then I just spent another $50 on my Thunderbolt dock. So all in for $600, I have a foolproof setup that I can use with any GPU that's AMD, that's not AMD. And this is really the secret sauce, and the non-light adapter is better, but just the fact that you still have access to this USB-C, you do your 24-pin power here, so you can use an ATX power supply with ease, and then you have to get the $150 cable. And it's these two, this ribbon, and then you plug in this little ground right here, and then this, and you can actually see this is the same official cable that they use everywhere else. You can just plug it into the top of the Ally. And I've been rocking this setup for quite a few months now, and I've been very, very happy. I'm getting really quality performance, and I've tested different things, and I'll throw up some benchmarks. But for example, Pearl mining is taking everything by storm, so I don't mind if I'm maybe going on a work trip, or maybe I have a really long day at the house. I can leave my Ally connected to my 3080, and I can mine Pearl on the 3080 while preserving the internals of my Ally. So I'm still getting over 100 terahash for Pearl, which if you know anything about Pearl mining with 3080, that is right on par, if not slightly better than some normal 3080s that have been tested. So, and that's on Cryptex using SRB miner. So that's a huge step up. So I really do think that this is the best possible mod you can do for your ROG Ally, because overall, it's everything that we wanted it to be. The new Thunderbolt docks, they don't have as fast of performance as this method. The XG Mobile has a lot more PCIe bandwidth compared to Thunderbolt, and theoretically with the specs of the XG Mobile connector, you can get quite fast GPUs working. If you have any questions, just feel free to lay them in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed all the results. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed overall this type of content. I do love playing with these new type of toys, so as soon as I get things like this, I plan to upload. But I'll catch you in the next one.